go, folks. Another episode of Inside the Barrel. Chad Spalding, ISC Barrels account manager, and today I'm with Murphy from Cedar Ridge Distillery in Iowa. Welcome, Murphy. Appreciate your time today.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, so we're here. We're going to key on the Whiskey Advocate Award you guys just recently hit at the end of 2025, early 26 for the Quintessential Special Release number 5 cask. Number 13 most exciting whiskeys on that list, Murphy. How about that?
Yeah, there was such a huge honor. Completely unexpected, by the way, when we got that news. I mean, we definitely celebrated here. That's such a credible list to be on. I think it was our first time ever cracking that top 20. And so, yeah, it was a big deal for us.
Yeah, we just touched on it. Some big players on that list, and you guys are right there in the middle of it. And that's super cool.
Yeah, man, juggernauts on that list. That's for sure. I mean, it's and it's cool to see. By the way, it's cool to see more crafts popping in there now that some of the crafts are coming of age, us included. It's cool to see a lot of legacy brands and some crafts kind of mixing it up in that top 20.
So specifically that release, what kind of went into that release in the blending, or what barrels did you pick from? Or...
It was a tough one to blend. So it was one of our quintessential special releases. We release one quintessential special release per year. And for those of you who aren't familiar, that's an American single malt. So 100% malted barley. When I do these blends, there's a substantial amount of work that goes into them, specifically on the blending side, picking through the casks that are involved, but then also getting them integrated and things of that nature. So what it was 100% single malt, 2-row pale malted barley single malt. All started out in our own ex-bourbon casks, which are ISC. So we use them once for bourbon, and then we use them again for our single malt program, which is a ton of fun. I like single malt in those used bourbon casks. That's how I like to produce it personally. From there, we transfer the single malt to secondary casks, secondary maturation casks. And those included ruby port, both from casks from overseas and casks from our own winery. We make a ruby style port in our own winery. Then Marquette red wine, which is another wine that we make here. So we use one of those as a finishing cask. And then we used Madeira casks from Madeira that had peated malt in them. So those were the casks involved, and we married them all together and created a blend of that. Now, the hardest part was getting all those different flavor profiles to integrate and play well with one another. And that takes a lot of time. When I was doing this blend, I learned with all those different casks, what's most important is giving them adequate time to rest and really become one flavor profile. The first 80% of the blend is really the easy part. You have a good direction. You're adding barrels to this tank. It's a ton of fun. But then the last 20 is substantially more difficult, kind of the finishing touches on the blend. And the reason why I say that is because you get that first 80%. Well, then maybe you want to add a little bit to it. Now you need to pause and you need to let the whiskey rest. You need to give it 2-3 weeks, maybe even 4, to just sit there and become one. And then you add to it again. And so you're making these small additions to it and then letting it rest again. And it can be really kind of annoying, kind of painful to be that patient with something that you're eager to work on and develop. But yeah, over time, I've learned that resting is really the most important part when you're creating these complex blends with, super strong finishing casks and things of that nature. You need to let it rest before you move forward.
And that's why you're one of the most exciting whiskeys of 2025. Congratulations once again, Murphy, from myself and from ISC, and we appreciate your partnership for sure. And cheers to you guys and the team at Cedar Ridge.
Hey, thank you so much. Cheers to you guys. We love ISC here.